Welcome back to the city of Menzoberranzan, Riverside, where the cluttered consequences of man's hubris can be seen along our shores. And we're using relatively clean energy. It's still all bunching up back in this corner here. Oh well. Welcome back. The Ore Palace, as you can see, is already almost completely free of pollution. Let's see if there are any lingering traces here. Yeah, looking pretty good. Strangely enough. So that shouldn't affect us. It's certainly not spreading, and it can be moved at any time. / deleted at any time. It's just one of those things that's hard to delete after you've spent the money for it, but I should pull the trigger eventually. Seemingly no massive problem spots otherwise. We obviously have our junkyard, and then we have the other side of the highway that may continue to grow just a little, regrettably. But hopefully we can keep it away from the trees as much as possible. Near the highway is fine. We'll let everyone see the mountains of trash as they come in, and then, oh, everything's nicer. After that, it's fine. Alright, so I know we were working on an education campus here. We have almost all of our currently unlocked education buildings. And then we were trying to consider something more centrally located as well. Did we have a high school out here? Let me check. Yes, we have a high school there. So we could potentially use more of this little strip of road for some more educational facilities, if need be. Something as large as a university. No, not something like that. We could put a university over here, say. In fact, I'm wondering if we put a little side road in here, if it wouldn't fit perfectly. Let me try that. This might be as good a spot as I'm going to find. Give it to about there, and while we have so much free-flowing cash, give it its own priority road off there. Make sure that it has water. It should be fine, but I may as well connect these while I'm at it. Just in case. Slipped at the last second, but there it is. Alright. How about a little hop up here in case we end up making this a park space or something? So university is in. Let's do a little trimming on the road. Oh, just a touch further would have been nice. Wouldn't that have been nice? There we go. So I have an isolated little university. It's relatively nearby the high school, so this is still sort of an educational district, but oh well. I still like these park spaces here, but I'm not sure if I should just remove the small parks we have and replace them with actual park amenities like a cafe and whatnot, or if it's better to have like non-working parks interspersed amongst the houses. I don't necessarily want there to be employees arriving and raising heavy gates in your backyard, you know. But it would be cool to actually have these be real parks that can start leveling up, like this one is Promenade Park. Did we unlock something new for that, by the way? I think I got distracted. We may, in fact, have gotten a climbing frame. That was it. I didn't place this. Hello there in the chat. Do we get to name the university too? I believe we can, absolutely. Let's go take a look at that in a second. And if there are any desired educational names, I'm all ears. Peter, a stream with your soothing voice is a way to start the day for someone like me who hates to wake up. I am so glad. I'll try to keep it soothing. I can't promise there aren't any bullet ants hiding in my closet, but no plans to start shouting at the moment. Welcome and good morning. So where would a climbing frame best fit in here? Kinda like there, just across from this fountain plaza. Though that is like my biggest chunk of land. If there ends up being something bigger, I may want to have that spot. So let's see where else. This is also a good and available bigness. So let's leave that. I want to break up the gazebo there, but I could slip it in between these. It doesn't take up too much of my... Oh, it kind of does. I was about to lie to you and say it doesn't really take up that much space, but it's weird. Let's find another spot. Out here by the road kind of makes sense to me. And that fits in nicely. Just a little break between it and the sidewalk. Alright, so that's like a nice official playground with swings. It has seesaws and a sandbox and a climbing frame as advertised. Alright. I'm guessing that's what you want the university to be called. Mr. Burns Finger Steeple Excellent University. And I'm all for it. That sounds fantastic. Let's see if we can indeed rename these. Right now it's called University. How apt. Alright, we're gonna say... Sounds more like a law firm, but we'll roll with it and let me know if there are desired changes to the law firm as we go forward. Burns Steeple University. Thumbs up, thumbs downs. Which gladiators deserve to die? It's also appropriate that the Steeple University is next door to a cemetery. That worked out well. Okay. So we should be getting some good smartness to smarten up the... that will hopefully resolve some of these icons here. Hoping that university pushes us over the edge. Let's get another look at these stats here. Hopefully that'll give these guys better access as well. I'm wondering if there's a way, like an elevated road, since this elevated industrial road dips down just before we reach that education district. It might be possible to run another elevated road that's like an educational access way. It could end up back here. Because these guys in Witching Pines, for whatever reason, they've got like pedestrian public library access right over there, etc., but they're not taking advantage of it. I also quite desperately need a public library on this side of the highway, which I probably have plenty of money for. I can put one here in the educational district, and it actually fits quite well. But I was saving that spot because eventually there's like one more higher educational building, so maybe I could put it on the outside here. I'm not sure. I can also go deeper in so that it could like both sides of this residential zone could hopefully access it. I'm not sure if that would work if I put it somewhere like here. Let me try that. I don't think that the library generates a lot of traffic necessarily, so it should be fine on the main collector road, though it will eat into some of our future commercial zoning. That seems to make sense to me. So that'll give them a little better public library access. It's not as far-reaching as it could be. Ooh, speaking of far-reaching, unlocked not an info view, but a policy last time. The education boost, that was it. This will prioritize education and increase the education budget by 25%. Global policy, yes please. Give me some more of them learned folks, yes. Good morning, all. So nice to see you here. Can the next thing be named something Corvid related? Caw-caw, most assuredly. I don't really speak the language. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be messing about with the mother tongue there. The Bryn also has 0 library access. Let's fix that. If there is any place that is even remotely straight enough for us to work with. Right off the roundabout, yeah? Yeah. On your way in and on your way out from shopping down below, you will have the opportunity to grab yourself some nice Nancy Drew novels. Good. I know they have a elementary school, or I thought they did. Maybe they don't. Geez. It must be a fire station up here I was thinking of. So it could also be worthwhile to add elementary school in here, because that's like, it goes really well with residences to get their education started. Obviously. So let's take advantage of one of these empty spaces I left up there to throw in an elementary school. And then down by the library here, we'll try to throw a high school in somewhere flat. Perfect. Now everyone should have some more educational opportunities. We don't really have a hospital yet. We're probably getting about to that size of city. And the Corvid Health Clinic sounds pretty sweet. So with another $65,000, while I'm making big purchases, I should invest in our health. Where is it most needed? We are going to expand a little bit more residential in amongst here, but we're not going to take it too far down into here. So I don't really need a centrally located hospital. But anywhere in here so that it has access to the Witching Pines or vice versa would probably be great. Or I could even put it out here, because this is like the bulk of our residences at this point. I'm not sure if it would be wise to slip it in across from the library, perhaps. It gives them pretty good access. It doesn't spawn the ambulances onto the collector road. That sort of makes sense to me. Let's try it there. And we don't already have a clinic on this side, so that'll be good. I could even move this clinic out a little further to give them more coverage, but they're not doing bad at all. You know, that actually makes a little bit of sense. But why? Oh... I was going to move this one to a new location. I have a different idea now. Let me move this one regardless. That's an elementary school. I've plumb lost it. Escaped my vision. Alright, that's the one. I'm going to relocate this just a little further away from the other hospital there, but so that it still has access, let's say, to this little belly of additional housing there. Spawn off the main road, and then where I was going to move it, I think we have enough money left to throw one more in by the Witching Pines. There's a fire station right here, so let's continue that trend just across the road. I think that might be an elementary school too, so that all works out quite well. Yes, it is. They don't have a high school over in Witching Pines, but we can fix that. And I think I do want to go ahead. I got distracted here, but I think I want to make this elevated education road. It would be lovely if it could meet up straight with this one, actually, so that it has collector road access all the way through. So we may want to move this park to pull that off. And I completely forgot we need to name this. 1 second. Let me see here. There must be a better word that goes more appropriately with our seed word, Corvid. Corvid Clinic? That is the alliterative. Nice. Corvid Infirmary. The Corvid Institution? Pinky to the corner of the mouth time. Corvid Sanatorium. That's hard to pass up. Sanatorium? Sanitarium? Tomato, tomato? Preferences? This is fantastic. I love all the customizing and naming of things. We're finally there to that part of the game. All these extra facilities that I've added have cut into our profits. We were making like 5,000. Alright, Corvid Sanitarium. Let's go for it. We were making plus 5,000 or so for a minute there, but now we're down to 2.5 again. Alright. This is going to be the most badass of all health facilities. I'll be making my appointments here. Almost. Goodness me, I wish I had a keyboard. Alright, Corvid Sanitarium is in business. Alright, so because of our profit issues, we may want to spend just a little bit of time expanding the Forest of Nonsense over there. However, with everything leveling up and doing so well with those new facilities, it can only increase our profits. So even though we took a short-term hit there, just because we have more ambulances to pay for all over the place, it should end up just fine. So, let me take another look at the grid here. I know it's kind of messed up. Where else can we fit in some things? Let's try to fill in all of these corners here. I'll lay a little tree work in for it. Anywhere it'll let me. Oh no, we're having another fire. Please respond quickly before it spreads, if I may command you. Here I am adding more trees to make the problem even more severe. Looks like they got to it pretty quickly, though. While I'm on a utilities spree, let's see how much it would cost us to throw an extra, maybe even full-scale fire station in here. 60,000. I guess that is like all of my remaining money. Let me just do a smaller one for now. I want to make sure this is very, very well protected. And I am going to need it over here too, so let me just... I'm not sure. I want it to have wide access to everything. There you go. We got there in the end. Okay, a little extra fire protection. Just while we're working on this. It'd probably just be easier for me to do this without, the large painting swath there. I always think that will do it for me, but it does not. So I just want this to be randomly well filled in. So that just about anywhere we want to place some industry, which is what we need to expand, it will be ready to go and hopefully turn into a nursery rather than a furniture import business. However, every tree I add increases the risk of fire. Thanks for that. Alright, so I probably want to start putting some out here too. This is usable space. Alright, let's take a look at this in the info view. Yeah, so we're just increasing how much this will be worth when it's all lumber industry there. There's also sustainable industry that will just continue to regrow itself, so we don't have to worry about, ore depleting over time, etc., etc. So, yes, go for it. Yes. Not quite. But now, yes. And everything in there, everything in there. I didn't fill too much in there yet. We'll try to fix that up. Everything there and there. Okay. Switch back to this. Hopefully this will get our profits up and running again, is the main thing. Must be all sorts of weird zoned businesses, but that's fine. Okay, that should be pretty well filled in. How about some of these? I'll try to fill that corner in just a bit more. And across the road here, I'll try to go ahead and do as well. Use of any of that. How about over here? This is lovely. A little landscaping to brighten up my endless road making. Road making sounds somehow hugely inappropriate. I'm sorry I brought it up. One more over here. Sure. That seems to make sense. If we fill in this spot, all the better. Thanks, Thumbstick. Okay, that should be good. Maybe one more here. We got more industrial traffic starting up. Interesting to watch some of it to see where it ends up going. Hopefully most of it is headed right out to the highway. But I do see some that seems to be making multiple stops inside the thing, so that's interesting. Alright, didn't really help those two spots, but these are good. And over here. Wait. Let me just dial that back a little, in case we ever need that road. That should be fine. I still got distracted. We were working on this elevated educational roadway, and then I started working on other things. Anyway, you can see our money is rapidly increasing, already almost back to 5,000. So that is fantastic. That's what I was hoping to quickly remedy. The staunch the flow of our industrial money-making there. Okay, that's fine for now. We'll see if anything can even make use of spots that small in an industrial context. I should be able to make use of all of this space across the way, too. Let me just fill in a couple quick trees, and then I think we'll be done with the industrial side of things. Thank you for bearing with me there. Jump back to that elevated roadway. I promise we will get it done. I do hope this coming week will treat you all kindly. It has been not much of a weekend for me, regrettably. So it's one of those weeks where I feel like I'm going into it with no stop, no intermission. But that's okay. We'll get through it together, I'm sure. I don't think I'm really gonna need these roads up by this cliffy section, but I'll leave this one open for sure, just in case we can wind a connection up there somehow. I don't think we're gonna end up needing that one. Just in case, since it is paused, though, I'm gonna take it out. I always like to leave myself the option. Alright. So with all those new trees in, how is our fire protection looking? We should be okay. And as they turn into nursery facilities, we should be in even better shape, so I'm not going to worry about it. I see. There is a small problem. I moved that. No, I guess that's just the fire station. Okay, I moved the medical clinic a ways. What I was worried about, I thought I may have moved the fire station away so that it doesn't have as good access here. But hilariously, when we make our elevated roadway, there's a fire station right across there. So that should fix our issue. I think they'll probably be able to make that gap. So, let's just start here, because we know this is where I want to end up. We'll raise it and get it as close as possible. I guess that's as close as possible. And same story there. I guess we can just keep going all the way across here, elevated, and then bring it down. So now let's focus on freeing this up here. To relocate the park, I think I can probably keep it here. That's 2 squares over. I think I need to be 3 squares. There we go. Almost messed myself up there. I think that should be fine. It's a little bit weird that it starts on the bridge, but I actually kind of like that. Like that acts as a fence for the park. Lovely. Okay. We have a fire here that, let's pause it so we can help them out. We should have a clear roadway. Let me just give it a block of flat. That may not be enough. Let me give it half a block. And we'll try to connect it from here. I can also... I guess I need to start elevated. Okay. Oh, that's hilariously one off from each other. For whatever reason, I thought they were kind of perfectly aligned. Not quite, and they're not even on the same grid, you know? But that's okay. Let me do this instead, though. Since they're not going to straightly align, I will switch to a freeform road. this a little cleaner. There's a spot I want that's just not quite clicking. That may be about as good as I can get. I'll take it. Alright, so smooth that out just a bit so it's a little less robotic and wonky. Ah! Oh, sorry, I saw a ghost clam in the chat there again. It scares me every time. Hello and welcome. Good morning, grave hands. Where is the cemetery? Ah, I'm glad you asked. We have one over here. This is our steeple district that is getting, as you can see, quite filled with lovely dead people. New friends all around. And this is the Burns Steeple University, which is made out of flammable materials, fun fact. And still have a fire over there. We'll get back to that, and a fire here. Oh goodness me, I'm scared. Here's the other cemetery, which isn't quite as full of new friends. The cemeteries do not yet have names, but I believe they can have names. If anyone would like to throw down the gauntlet, let's say. So, sudden fire season here. Let's see what's going on with that. I guess it is a bit of a distance. I'm hoping that our new elevated roadway here can help that out. But it's certainly no closer than, say, that one is, so I'm sure they'll be fine. However, another fire station up here would make me feel better. Even perhaps something that's like a larger fire station on this road, so it has access to both residential districts. I can't even speak anymore. Residential districts. So I'm just going to unpause and hope that these fires are being taken care of. I think they have plenty of coverage. It's just a weird coincidence. Or we have some arson issues. I'm not sure what. Forest of Nonsense is not yet in flames, so that's good. And we are rolling in the dough again. I'm very glad we fixed that issue. I got a little excited with the new utilities there. I love that ominous bell in the distance, too, yeah. When you get close to the cemetery, it always tolls for thee. And everywhere is looking a little dry. I am sorry, folks. I think I'm going to go ahead and spend the money here. Put another fire station in. Oh, here, let's say. Just to help out. That should help that whole side of the road stop actively burning, because it can reach both areas through the roundabout. We have 2 in our Forest of Nonsense now. We still have one HQ and a small one in our new lumber zone, which we can continue to expand if needed, like we've got all of this rich forestry area. A fire down here, right next to the fire station. Hilariously. So, it must be summer. I'm not sure why all of a sudden flurry of activity. We have made huge improvements to our education and our fire coverage in this session. We have increased our industrial output hugely. Respawn Point Cemetery. I like that. Let's put that one over here. Yes, we absolutely can. Alright. If you'll pardon the heavy traffic noises, or whatever that is. What? Respawn Point. The fancy extra. Yes, I'm all about that. Respawn Point Cemetery. must be a full moon. Yes, that must be why all the fires. So, are people... I guess I didn't check the actual... Oh no, don't you choose to come this way with your lumber traffic, you mad fiend? What are you doing? That's so weird to me. You would choose to go all the way around and through the education overpass? There's some people coming this way too. It's like, for some reason... Goodness, you know, I hope what's not happening. It kind of seems like this is what's happening, but I bet some of these are nurseries on both sides and some of them are furniture stores, and I bet now I'm selling my goods across the way to each. It's probably why there's cross-traffic for this industrial. It makes no sense to me why they would choose to do that, but we'll see if we can fix it up later. Not a big deal for now, it just adds more, noise to the road. Naughty, naughty noise. So what was I doing just before I realized that? Goodness. It's flown right out of my head. We were checking educational coverage now that there is the road in place. That's right. Because Witching Pines should now have easier access to this whole district. Doesn't seem to be making an instant difference, but education does take a while to spin up, I'm sure. And it's a newer neighborhood also. These places have been getting educated for some time, so I'm like comparing them unfairly. Come on, Witching Pines, catch up. It's not its fault. We'll get there. So I think we've made plenty of high-ticket advancements in that department for now. Let's focus for a little while on new residential zoning and maybe a little bit of leisure for the last couple of minutes. I don't know where else we could actually fit new residences at this point. We have a little bit of space left open. But I'm kind of going to need to just pick a new spot to expand out into. Seems to be the idea. We could also try to find a new place for some of these windmills, or replace them all with something else. We do have this solar updraft tower, which I haven't taken a look at yet. A geothermal power plant, too. Let's take a look there. It does noise pollution, but no actual pollution. Utilizes warmth in the Earth's core to provide electricity for the city. Thanks, the Earth. So that's great. It's 80 megawatts, so one of those would replace, 8 windmills, effectively. Pardon me, and my sipping. So we could do something like that. That's $65,000. It's affordable. Or we can almost afford this $90,000 solar updraft tower, which is a little bit louder, but generates like 3 times the power output. Oh, that's amazing. It also says the large batteries within the building allow it to store electricity so that it's not affected by day and night. That's something I'm always worried about, because the original solar power plant, this one, when it says during the night, solar power does not produce electricity. So you get a whole lot of power for that, but then it goes away. So this solar updraft tower sounds amazing. I will speed up my simulation a little bit in the hopes that we might be able to afford it, and then we could get rid of some of these windmills, if it works. And that would be great. So we do need a lot of residential zoning, because you can see they're having trouble employing people here. I now have all of these jobs that I've been putting in, and we need more folks to work them. So I'm going to do a little reworking here, I think. And maybe make this not a 4-lane road. I guess it doesn't really matter. It should be a 4-lane road, but I can remove some of this commercial district and make it just residential out here. So let me, to remind myself, create a little barrier of office zoning. move the commercial so that it stops noise polluting into the Witching Pines. It's not that bad out here, but I may make this just like a quiet corridor of offices altogether and just try to move the commercial zoning up a level. Makes a sort of sense to me for some reason, even though the collector road is down here, which makes no sense at all. So let me fill out a couple more of these spaces. And they can keep playing, no big deal. Released everyone that was inside the restaurant there in a big group to the sidewalk. Sorry, everyone. It's closing time. Alright, so we'll have offices there, which means that we can fully make use of all of this area. I guess it's already 4 here, so we could have room for a pedestrian path to move through. Let's do that. Yeah, there's a pedestrian path here, so we'll meet it up on that side. Okay. Let's do it here. So we'll start to put in a little high density along the edges. High density residential. And this should just be normal style. It's not within the Bryn. That's fine. That's fine. Want to leave that open. Alright, put in the path real quick. Should be able to let them keep building. We got that. We got this. And it goes right to there. Alright. So those offices will once again protect from all the noise pollution or potential noise pollution from everyone having their snacks out here. We can then make this like more offices if need be, or we can leave it for some facilities, some clinics and whatnot that Witching Pines might need. Go ahead and just let them figure it out all the way down to here. And that should be fine. So a new commercial district, a little bit higher up on the hill, a little bit nearer the university there. We could still try to connect this road up eventually if we felt like it, or even just connect it to here with a curve. I actually like to go ahead and put it in place. I'm gonna need 2 blocks and then curve it. Go into roads. Alright. A little bit less. There we are. Ah, did that break something? Messed up the zoning for sure. Oh well. We'll have a little yogurt shack there. I'll put in something across from it so it doesn't get lonely. So that'll lead right into the university. That's great. We have pedestrian paths coming down the hill, so there's a little bit of residential access, but we should probably put in another road coming out of the Bryn that's not so hard to get around, like something where we left this shallow exit here, perhaps. I think that was the idea. So we can maybe run something down right to the cemetery, even. Or if we wanted to curve it around and make it meet up here, we can make the road in front of the cemetery straight and have a little intersection next to it here. We'll have options. Alright. So this is coming together. Did I not give this office? I guess I didn't. It must have been full at the time. Okay, so we got our sound barrier there. That's about as full as I can get it. I think it's probably time to move this old landfill. We'll just keep it handy elsewhere. Put it out across the... Oh, got turned around. Across the way. Don't want to block the road exit. However, I shouldn't need those power lines anymore with this in place. Yes, alright. Maybe I did. I certainly needed this connection. That's what the problem is. I'm sorry, everybody. 1 second. Shouldn't have had it on 3 speed there. Okay, so since this is right next to the elementary school, I'm actually going to put in a little block of high density. Just cheat and get some more population in there. Then these will be low density. If those come in immediately, the demand is high, so I'm hoping they will. Yes, that should fix our problem. Nope, it did not. Okay, sorry. Sorry, everybody. Jeez. There we are. Always frightening when that happens. Okay, so more residences are going in. We were trying, yeah, we sped it up so that we would get enough money to put in that solar updraft tower so that we could remove these windmills, and then this all becomes potential extra residential space. So, jump back to power. Solar updraft. That's 240 megawatts. It also takes some water. I gotta keep that in mind. And an extra 2,000 upkeep cost per week. Okay, so that'll take us back down to like 4,000, but that's alright. We'll never have power issues again, and we should be able to remove so many of these windmills that it may even itself out. I don't know where exactly to put this. Like, I don't think there's a sunniest spot, necessarily. Let's see how large it is going to be the first concern. I see we're getting into the yellow in terms of electricity, so this is just on time. I don't think I'm really going to be able to fit it in. It's such a square item. Would be nice to be able to fit it in there, but I could put it, let's say, out here with the garbage stuff. This is a pretty sunny area out by the highway. It's not going to bother anybody. Wouldn't be bad at all. I can also fit it in like any corner here that we're not really going to use. It is a little imposing, like I'm not sure if people will want it too nearby their houses. So let's just put it across from the landfill here for now. If it'll take pity on me. There we are. Alright, so I am going to need to pause this and connect that to the rest of the grid before it's going to do us any good. However, that should be a huge improvement, a massive new power generation for our town that will carry us well into the future. So I could try to put some shops in here to tease the power grid. While there's a little bit of demand, let me do that. Put just a couple in so that they can start filling it out over here, and then we'll see how I need to get after that. I need just a temporary power line, though. This is ridiculous. I'll get there eventually. Okay. We'll delete that. So, electricity is fully back up into the green. Before I forget, let me check to make sure it's not taking more water than we can give it. I don't think so. Water availability is good. We are actually getting a little low on sewage again. We must be getting close to unlocking these, which are like the upgraded outputs. 17,000 population and 34,000 population for the eco version, so ouch. Okay, we're not getting close. Let me go ahead and place another one here. We're going to need it, regrettably. And, I could put another pump in, but I think we'll be okay for now. Still well in the green. So let's just make sure that knocks our sewage treatment back up. Good, good. Both at the same level now. Alright, so this is generating power. We have an insane amount. Let me make sure, now that we have something that can finally offset the windmills, which are so low generation that it always creates an issue. Let's take our power budget back down to 100% and make sure that it's still good. If we need to increase it, that's just fine. But that'll be perfect. While we're at it, I'm going to give just a little zhuzh to some necessary services here. Why not? I think they'll just have more trucks. More park maintenance workers for the leisure industry, etc., etc. Alright. I'm going to need to think about some mass transit options pretty soon. We're getting to that level. More ambulances. Yeah, why not? Road maintenance. Sure. At that point where we can even things out just a little. Let's see what that does to our money generation. I don't want it to take it all the way down, but 3,008, 3,005. Hope it's evening out somewhere around there. There's a couple of things we may not really need that I went a little crazy on. Let's say back to 100 on 2 of these. I like medical services, but it's not super necessary, and we're not really having any garbage issues. Let me just take these jointly so that they cancel each other out, and leisure down. That's fine. Okay. Sorry. Got ahead of myself. There. Okay, so we are having some power issues here. Let's see if we can fix that with zoning. They're very, very close. The question is, should I put in like another commercial building, or... You know, I think I was going to use this as a park space, so yeah, let me take that out. I'm going to try to skirt it down the road with commercial. Actually, let me start from this side. There we are. Let's go there, let's go here, and then let's put an office right here. And we do need one more commercial building. Let's do this one. There's not a real huge demand now, but I'm hoping that'll fill itself in sooner rather than later. And that should make the connection. We can remove the power lines at that point. So, I am regrettably out of time here. I haven't been watching the clock quite strictly enough. I need to run along and get some coffee in me, but we have made huge improvements here, including the latest to our power structure. We've put in a little more residential, fleshed out the forest of nonsense. We finally have a power connection here. That is fantastic. That should continue on this way. And I can remove that one so that we can continue our plan of making this a park space. So, last little check. A couple of intersections here. I haven't gone on a spree in a while, so a couple of these are probably hiding. Okay. Should be good. Thank you so much for coming along with me. This was a great and very beneficial session. Maybe next time, since the pollution is all cleared out here, we can rename this and start working on our water feature. That will be a big, big project, but I'm excited to start it. So, thank you again. I will see you soon here, back in Menzo Berenzan, and until then, we have our power connection. And I can remove these. Thank you, and goodbye for now. Let me wave at you from the great above. Goodbye for now.